Alright, now our next. What's funny is it actually looks way over. Oh, hang on. Alright, now we're going for our final size, and these actually are 19/32 on the diameter, which is 6 inch or 5 inches, 93.5 or so, and that's why we drilled it so close. Go down just a skosh more. Now we're going to engage our hand feed here, and we're going to hand feed this through, so we're going to be just lightly cruising through this hole so we can try to make the best or the tightest a drill hole can be, because I don't have a reamer this size. There we go. Alright, blow this off. And see if our sleeve fits in here. Oh, you know, that's going to be a real nice press fit. I like that. We lightly tapped our tool bit in about a 1/4 inch, and then we turned it sideways and we pressed it in with our vise. Then I had to get a steel square here, and we took a pair of a crescent wrench here, and we went ahead and tweaked it to where it is square with the axis. Alright, so now we're happy with that. Now we're going to go ahead and roll the bar on its side here and get ready to put 2 set screw holes in there. Make sure we're off over that edge there. Put our screw jack under there. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to set this in here, and we're going to take our edge finder, and we're just going to come up and we're going to find the edge of that, then come over center, and then we're just going to go ahead and put 2 tapped 1/4 20 holes in there. Okay, now we're going to come over halfway of that. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to spot our 2 positions in with this center drill. And the reason why we're using this is because we're not on a flat surface. I physically wanted to eyeball that, which I didn't. Okay. Okay, looks good to me. And I'm just kind of scaling this. I like to put one about 3/8 of an inch in from that surface. A little oil. All right. The center drill gives you a nice funnel area into the hole, and you know that no matter what, your tool bit's going to be equal pressure, or your drill bit's going to be equal on all parts of the edge of the hole that you're starting, so it's not going to deflect or deviate from where you want it to go. Alright, let me find a tap. Put our tap in, we put our spindle in neutral so that we can just hand tap this using our spindle to guide it straight. I'm watching the chips be pushed down through the hole. Now that the tap is there, it's gotten easier. Okay, I'm down in there, so I know that I got full threads cut all the way. Alright, just backing back out. Alright, I'm done with that hole there. Alright, now we go ahead and we shift back in. And we move to our next hole, same thing. And we're going to move it about, we'll go ahead and move it another 1/2 inch. That was 3/8. So we'll go to 7/8. Right there. You want to go in the right direction. Okay, back in neutral. And we're through. Okay, back in gear. And we loosen it up. Okay, those are pretty clean right there. We're going to take a little bit of Scotch-Brite pad on the rotary disc there, and we're going to kind of blend all of these areas in here. And on this back side here, we're going to roll this over. This is where the set screw and this butt end right here, and we're going to take the set screw out, or we're going to actually run the set screw in after we blow out in the hole there. And we're going to blend this so it's smooth on this back side. And we're ready to go fit it in place. Set up on the bore. We got you over here looking at the lathe now. We're getting ready to set this up, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay this down on the side up here so that you can see that there's one short pin sticking here and one short pin here, and those pins are the diameters of the T-nut slots. Now we have 2 T-nut slots on this side of the crossfeed and one on the forward side, and I set this up originally so that I could have a pin locking in here and bolted down on this side, so I made both supports matching so that they'll work on either way. I did cut this one out, however, so that I could get to my table lock, or the table lock didn't in fact interrupt with this mounting. And the other one I'm going to run in here. Alright, now same thing, pins that support lock it side to side, and I made everything mirror fit. So I'm going to go ahead and I made the T-nut slots, and I slide those in through here, push them with the all thread or whatever I have into the opening, and then drop the studs in. So I'm going to do that for all 4 of these and get this ready to locate, and then I'm going to show you how I actually locate this on the carriage, and we'll bring in the bar into position here, and I'll show you how the bar finished up, and then after that we'll back everything away so that we can insert the struts that we're going to bore. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to slide this bar out now that we know that this is pretty well in the center there, plus or minus 1/4 inch side to side. We bring this out, we know that we're going to start a foot on this side here, and then we're going to travel and we're going to be a foot on this side here. And I want to have a little bit of room to play with, and as long as we don't have any chatter, I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just for the heck of it, I'm going to start right there. Okay. Okay, we polished this up with Scotch-Brite and the 4.5 inch round Scotch-Brite on one of my DeWalt's. Blended this back in here, just kind of took all the burrs off of it. We have one tool bit just sitting in there. It's not set. I just kind of put it in there to look at it. Alright, and we'll give you a couple close-up pictures of that. We're going to go ahead and bring in our center. So we're contacting the end of the bar here, and it's semi-tight. We're just going to level this off right here. Alright, we're going to take our pocket scale, and we're just going to measure, because this inside sweep is how I set everything up on these things, so I can measure from the bar out to here and from the bar out to here on this side here. There's 2 and 600, and there's like 3 inches, so we know that we got to come back here a couple hundred thousandths. Okay, there's like 2 3/4, 2 800, 2 800, 2 800. That's the beauty of 3-pointing it, because I'm just rough setting this just so I know that the bore is going to be somewhat in the center there. Alright, now I'm going to lock these down and see if I can find my 11/16. Here it is. Okay, now these things are locked down, and this is where they stay. And I had forgotten which side I did, but it looks like this side here, they are pretty close to being flush with the end. So all the way here on my carriage, flush on the end. I'll have to try to remember that. Now we're ready to go ahead and set up our strut in here. And we're just going to go ahead and slide the strut in, and then raise it and lower it with the lower ones here, the bottom feet, and then we steer it side to side with these 2 here until we get a scale measurement all the way around to the OD of the casting. The ID is what we want to cut. We want to cut it true with the OD. the core may not be 100% concentric with the OD, but our final bore should be. Okay, I just picked up the strut and set it here while I was doing it. The outside hub is 4-inch. This is 7.5 inches in here, so that leaves us 3.5 divided by 2 is 1 3/4. So basically 1 3/4 out from this ring right here should be pretty close. Okay, and we're still sitting on the bar. Looking good. And all of our final dimensions really want to be taken with the center in the end here. Alright, this can start to hold itself up here. And you can see I'm no more than finger tight anyway. Okay, good hold on the tailstock. We want to make sure our chuck is really nice and stout because we're holding tailstock pressure with it. Alright, now we can go ahead and take a measure to the outside of our part, which we're 1 inch there. And we're about 15/16 there. Let's see, 1/900. 1 inch there. That's looking good. About 1/9 there. Or excuse me, about 900 there. 950. 950. About 950. About 950. We're pretty square there. And Corey, we got some material to come out of here, so once we go through with the tool bit as well, we'll be creating a constant wall thickness, and we can look at what we got for wall thickness on this side and this side, this side, this side. We're just trying to open it up right now. We've got to go from like 200 out to 3 inch. So we're going to be taking darn near 1/2 inch per side right out of this thing. All right, we're screwing all of our jam nuts in here. You know, you saw, I mean, I can grab a hold of the palm of the strut and pull back and forth on it, and I'm not getting any motion out of it. So I don't want to put any extra pressure on it than I need to really hold it, just like the aluminum sleeves that I was doing yesterday that I was showing on my Facebook. And the main concern was, hey, am I squishing them? And no, I'm not squishing them. Okay. All right, we're still solid. And I got basically 950 out to the outside edge all the way around from my bar. All right, now let's go ahead and see. We got bar motion, no rubbing. And our first cut is I'm just going to bring it, I'm going to bring the tool bit over here close to it. And actually, are we going to clear? We're not going to clear with that, okay? But that's okay. I'm going to clear there. And just a little wipe down on here. I didn't float coolant or I didn't float coolant. I didn't float any oil, so I need to float oil because I like to have the ways really floating on a bath of oil for this process here. All right, and we're just gonna slip out our. We didn't tighten it in and we didn't set it, so, but I just want to make sure that I can go past it without chipping it or breaking it. We get plenty of oil on here, and this also lets us check our full travel, making sure that we're clearing our carriage and everything else over here when we come out on this side here. And I don't see the tool bit yet. Okay, I see the tool bit there. I am clearing all the way there. I'm going to go ahead and move my compound 90 degrees here to get it away from the chuck, just to be a little bit more on the safer side. Okay, still got my platform to set tools and, you know, for setting my bits. All right, we're comfortable there. All right, now that we went all the way this way here, we're gonna wipe our ways here and put oil. We'll go back and forth a couple times here, just really flooding the ways. Hey, that did go over. See that? Didn't mess it up either. All right. Okay, I think we're ready to rock and roll for our first cut here. And I'm going to go ahead and put our tool bit. Now this is TSE6 K21 is the bit itself, virgin. I'm going to look at it sitting in here and make sure that I have enough clearance over the back side of it. And I do. Now this insert, I actually put the set screws facing on the back side of the tool bit, and I really could have had them from the other side so that all my adjustment would be like my other bar on this side, but I'll have no problem still doing the adjustment on it. I'll just have to get used to running it from this side, that's all. Once you're adjusting it, you're not adjusting it to look and see what you are with the bore. You're adjusting it to give you a dimension. Okay, I'm going to tighten that so that I can look at it over here on this side here. That looks pretty good. There looks good. Looks like a little clearance down there. Okay, we might as well set up our indicator here. I like setting the indicator so that you got it square. You can always pick this up. We're going to go up just a little bit. That way you can set this right down on it, and you're keeping everything square. Right there. I'm leaning just a little bit. This is going to be fine for my initial adjustment here, and we'll set this at 0. And just cranking in 10 thousandths. Why don't you roll it over, dummy? All right. All right, we're locked in for the first cut here, and I'm going to go ahead, and this is going to be, I'm going to go ahead and go in with a pretty coarse feed here. Let's see what we're at. We're at CB. I say pretty coarse, like 8,000 per revolution is going to be the speed here, and we're going to go ahead and try about 450 on our RPMs. And I'm just going to cut it dry. I'm going to go ahead and bring you in so you can actually get to look in at the face that's being cut. Okay, here we go. That feels pretty good. There's a flashing line in there, and I think that's what it's tapping against. It's rhythm with that same spot on the bar, but this is not chatter. It's not chatter noise. This feels really smooth. And there we are. Well, the braze tool bit looks just as good as it did on the other side. I'm going to dress a little bit more of back rake on there, because now that I'm looking at it right next to the round bore and out here, it is very, it might actually be making somewhat of a contact behind the bit there, but we did get it cut all the way through. All right, let's address that and try again.